Have you ever felt the room change the instant someone speaks? 1 second, the air is ordinary. The next, it's humming like someone flipped an invisible switch and turned on a field of electricity inside your chest. That, my friend, is no coincidence. It's the secret physics of sound in motion, and you've been holding the remote your whole life. Picture this. Every syllable that rolls off your tongue isn't just a puff of breath. It's a tiny comet blazing through the unseen fabric of reality, trailing data and desire behind it. Your voice is basically Wi-Fi for the soul, beaming packets of intention straight into the quantum router we call the universe. Sounds wild, right? Yet sages from Egypt to the Himalayas have whispered this same truth for millennia. Speak, and you Scott. Stay silent, and raw potential simply hovers like wet clay waiting, yearning for the artist's touch. Let's rewind the cosmic tape for a moment. In the beginning was the Word, declares the Gospel of John, not the Big Bang, not a grand piano falling from space, but a word. The original Greek calls it logos, a term so loaded it could power an entire philosophy department. Logos isn't casual conversation. It's the vibrating code that downloaded reality itself. Think of it as the master seed phrase for existence, the ultimate passphrase, whispered into the void that made stars pop like popcorn. And it's not just a Christian idea. Journey down the Nile and you'll find Thoth, Egypt's ibis, headed god of magic and scribes, literally singing the cosmos into place. Head east to India, and the Vedic rishis practiced mantra, the art of looping sounds, until the air itself remembered its divine origin. Even the Quran arrived first as a living recitation, each verse a wave, meant to crash against the heart, not merely sit flat on parchment. Civilizations separated by deserts and oceans still agreed on one thing: sound is the screwdriver that tightens reality's screws. So why does modern life treat speech like throwaway confetti? Because we've forgotten that throats can be temples or tornadoes. Enter the Vishuddha Chakra, your built-in broadcasting tower, hovering at the base of your neck. Vishuddha literally means pure or filtered, hinting that what leaves here should be distilled, potent, maybe even sacred. This chakra is the alchemical forge where thought melts into word gold. Ignore it, and language dribbles out like flat soda. Honor it, and every phrase turns into lightning you can aim. Let's get personal. Remember the last time someone called your name with genuine warmth? Your shoulders loosened, your pulse slowed, and for a breath or two, the world felt safe. Now recall a moment when a single careless insult clung to you like wet clothes all day. Same mouth shape, same air vibration, two radically different universes birthed in an instant. Your biology doesn't lie. It reacts to words the way flowers track sunlight. That's proof enough that speech isn't neutral. It's nutrition or it's poison, served one bite at a time. But don't panic. This isn't about censoring every casual or demanding Gregorian monk precision every time you order chai. It's about waking up to the microphone wired between your mind and the matrix. The ancient mystery schools weren't interested in sterile perfection. They were after resonance. When the frequency of your words matches the frequency of your deepest intention, stuff moves. Doors swing open, coincidences line up like dominoes, and life suddenly feels less like random static and more like a DJ set you're actually spinning. Think of your throat as a sacred cave. Inside, stalactites of belief hang from the ceiling, dripping stories you've collected since childhood. Echoes bounce off walls, carved by teachers, friends, memes, every voice you've ever heard. When you speak unconsciously, those echoes spill out in scrambled form, and the world responds with scrambled results. Clear the cave, sweep out the stale air, light a torch of awareness, and the echoes harmonize. Your words hit daylight bright, sharp, and ready to carve new canyons into possibility. Here's a quick taste of throat magic you can try right now. Next time you're alone, Inhale deeply into your belly. Then let a single tone, any note, slide out on the exhale. Don't judge it, just ride the wave. Feel your chest vibrate like a drum. Your lips buzz like honeybees. That's energy leaving blueprint form and entering the audible realm. Repeat it a few times and notice how your mood shifts from foggy to focused, like someone cleaned the inside of your windshield. Congratulations, you just tuned your personal radio station. Echoes, mantras, and the science of silence. Let's turn the dial a notch and slip deeper into the echo chamber of creation. By now, you've felt that slight buzz in your chest, the hint that your voice holds more voltage than a streetlight at midnight. Now imagine aiming that voltage with sniper-level precision. That's where mantras, true names, and the strategic use of silence enter the chat. First stop, mantras. Forget the stereotype of saffron-robed monks mumbling syllables you can't pronounce. A mantra is nothing more and nothing less than a sound signature that syncs your inner metronome with the rhythm of the cosmos. Think of it like tuning a guitar string. Pluck the right note, and the whole instrument vibrates in sympathy. Ancient yogis didn't pick random syllables. Each phoneme was chosen for its vibratory blueprint. When they chanted Om, they were striking the primordial chord that hums under every galaxy. Pretty handy shortcut, right? But you don't have to adopt Sanskrit to play this game. Try crafting a 3-word phrase that feels like jet fuel for your soul. Something as simple as rise and shine, or I own now. Whisper it on repeat during your morning shower, letting the steam carry it into every pore. After a week, notice how your default mood shifts from autopilot to pilot in command. Congratulations, you just engineered a personal mantra. It's Spotify for your subconscious, except you're both artist and listener. Now, about silence. The universe's favorite punctuation mark. Picture a blacksmith hammering molten iron. Between each strike, there's a pause, a heartbeat where the metal settles and the next blow lands cleaner. Speech works the same way. If you fill every gap with babble, your words blur into white noise. Hold a beat, and the next sentence hits like thunder after lightning. That pause is the furnace where intention crystallizes. Here's a micro exercise. Next time a friend asks, "How are you?" Inhale, count to 3, then answer. Watch their eyebrows pop. That tiny void makes your reply, whether fantastic or honestly, rough ring truer, because you let the energy build instead of leaking out as reflex chatter. Silence isn't emptiness. It's the loading screen where the magic texture maps onto your reality. Ready for the rabbit hole? Let's talk true names. Mythologists from Tolkien to the Tao Te Ching insist every being has a core vibration, an original label whispered at birth by the universe itself. Know it, and you unlock cheat codes. While most of us don't have a cosmic birth certificate, we can reverse engineer the effect. How? By naming our experiences so accurately that the label clicks into place, like a key in a lock. Suppose anxiety swirls in your gut before a big meeting. Instead of blurting "I'm stressed," taste the feeling and call it electric anticipation. Notice how the new name flips the emotion from enemy to ally. Same biochemistry, new narrative. Words aren't just tags, they're steering wheels. Science backs this sorcery. Neuroscientists call it affect labeling. When you name a feeling with precision, your amygdala brain's alarm bell calms down, and your prefrontal cortex regains the driver's seat. Ancient spellcasters and modern MRI machines finally agree. The right word literally rewires your brain in real time. Speaking of rewiring, let's peek at your vocal instrument itself. The larynx is basically a living 3D printer, shaping air into waves that hit people's eardrums and trigger floods of neurotransmitters. Think about that. Your breath reorganizes someone else's brain chemistry across the room. If that isn't wizardry, what is? Of course, every printer jams now and then. Maybe you mumble, Maybe you rush. Maybe decades of shesh trained you to throttle your volume. Time to degunk the gears. A quick hack, lion's breath. Inhale through the nose, then exhale forcefully with your tongue out and eyes wide, like a cartoon dragon spitting fire. Yes, you'll look ridiculous. Yes, your neighbors might worry. But it blasts tension from the throat, unclogging pipes, so your next words glide out like oil on water. While we're oiling mechanisms, remember hydration. Vocal cords are essentially wet violin strings. Dehydrate them, and you're sawing rusted wires. Sip water intentionally every gulp a baptism for your inner oracle. Now, let's stitch all these threads, mantra, naming, silence, hydration, into a single daily ritual. Wake up, stretch, and hit that lion's breath once to clear static. Sip water while whispering your 3-word mantra, letting it ride the liquid down your spine. Spend 60 seconds in absolute silence, feeling the phrase ripple through your cells. Finally, speak one intention for the day aloud, naming it as vividly as possible. Today I channel calm creativity. Less than 3 minutes total, and you've tuned, primed, and programmed your energetic transmitter for the next 24 hours. Remember, this isn't about flawless pronunciation or Insta-worthy affirmations. It's about resonance, matching the pitch of your speech to the signal you want the universe to amplify. Mistune, and you'll hear static. Nail the frequency, and reality morphs like liquid crystal beneath your voice. You might ask, what if I slip? What if sarcasm or gossip leaks through? Relax. Even the best musicians hit sour notes. The fix is simple: awareness. Catch the wobble, pause, breathe, and choose a cleaner chord next time. Over weeks, this becomes muscle memory, verbal feng shui, arranging every syllable like furniture so energy flows without stubbing its toe. Weaving voices, forging worlds. Close your eyes for a second and imagine a single candle in a dark hall. Pretty bright, right? Now picture 1,000 candles flaring at once. Suddenly the room isn't just illuminated, it's alive, walls shimmering like liquid gold. That's what happens when voices come together in harmony. The light multiplies, and the darkness never stood a chance. Welcome to the grand finale, the art of collective sound, the ethics of verbal sorcery, and the blueprint for turning solo sparks into a blazing constellation of creation. Let's start on the streets of Varanasi at dawn. The Ganges is draped in mist, and a chorus of human voices rises with the sun, a rolling wave of Har Har Mahadev that rattles the very stones along the Ghats. Each pilgrim's cry alone would be tiny, almost fragile, but together, they morph into a sonic current that makes your ribcage shake and your eyes well up with tears you didn't plan to shed. That's the physics of resonance squared. When multiple frequencies align, they form standing waves, amplifying each other until they feel almost solid. Science calls it constructive interference. Mystics call it the song of the spheres. Either way, it's proof that one throat is powerful, but many throats are tectonic. You've felt this elsewhere too, at a football match when the crowd roars the home team's name, in a gospel church where Amen lifts the roof, at a concert when the singer stops and the audience sings the chorus alone, a cappella, utterly united. In those moments, the boundary between me and we dissolves. Our nervous systems sync, hearts start beating in similar rhythms, and strangers become a single organism guided by sound. Researchers at Sweden's Uppsala University studied choir singers and found their heart rates actually entrain, breathing and pulsing in a shared tempo. It's not just poetic, it's measurable biology. But with great chorus comes great responsibility. Words can heal entire rooms, yet they can also seed hysteria or hate. History offers haunting reminders: demagogues whipping crowds into frenzy, propaganda jingles that justified violence, The same amplification that turns chants into medicine can mutate them into weapons. So here's our ethical GPS intention: awareness and consent. Before you project your voice into a collective field, scan your motive. Is it love-based or fear-fueled? Are you inviting free participation or hijacking attention? A healthy gathering echoes consent like a drumbeat. Everyone is free to step in or out without shame. A practical way to check your vocal karma involves 3 silent questions. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Say your mind wants to vent gossip about a coworker. Truth, maybe. Necessary, probably not. Kind, definitely not. Verdict, hold that note, maybe transmute it in private journaling. But if you're about to comfort a grieving friend and honesty feels raw yet supportive, hit those vocal cords and let compassion coil around every syllable. Now let's supercharge the Vishuddha with collective practice. Grab 2 friends or 20 and try this simple spiral chart. Choose a seed word that embodies a shared value: peace, courage, or perhaps the Sanskrit Shanti. Sit in a circle, close your eyes, and breathe together for 30 seconds to sync your internal metronomes. One person starts the word on any comfortable pitch, holding it like a note. After a heartbeat, the next person joins on a different pitch, and so on, creating a shimmering chord. Let the wall of sound build for 2 minutes, then lower the volume together until it lands in silence. When the final echo fades, open your eyes. Notice the soft glow in the room? That's group coherence, an energetic Wi-Fi network you just built from thin air. Use it to brainstorm, meditate, or simply bask. You'll be stunned by how ideas suddenly flow like water through open sluice gates. But what if you're alone or shy? Technology offers modern choirs on demand. Apps exist that let you layer your voice in multi-track loops. Record your mantra in 3 harmonies, stack them, and play it back during meditation. Vor instant mini choir, minus the scheduling hassle. As we thread toward our close, there's one final layer: the feedback loop between your words and the living world. Physicist John Wheeler proposed observer participancy, the idea that reality isn't a static backdrop, but an unfolding dialogue between matter and consciousness. Each spoken word is a vote in that cosmic election. Cast enough loving votes, and your reality tilts toward harmony. Toss out careless ballots, and the universe mirrors the chaos right back. So how do we keep casting wisely? By turning daily conversations into micro-rituals. When you greet the chai vendor, let warmth ride shotgun with the syllables. When you give feedback to your team, sandwich critique between slices of genuine appreciation. When you tuck a child into bed, tell stories that whisper courage and wonder straight into their dreaming mind. These are not small gestures, they're linguistic acupuncture points that redirect the key of everyday life. Declare one word that defines the reality you want to experience tomorrow. Say it aloud. Feel it ring. Share that word with at least one other human. Text it, sing it, whisper it over coffee, and invite them to echo it back. Listen for the universe's reply. It might arrive as a sudden opportunity, a snippet of overheard conversation, or simply a lighter mood. Whatever shape it takes, acknowledge it with gratitude, sealing the feedback loop. Do this for a week and watch micro-miracles domino across your calendar. Do it for a year, and you'll realize you've authored a life that once felt out of reach line by spoken line. The mic is now yours, Starcaller. May every sentence be a strand of aurora weaving sky to earth. Every pause, a sacred inhale of possibility. And every shared chant, a lighthouse guiding us all through the fog. Speak true. Speak brave. And remember, reality has no choice but to dance to the playlist you dare to drop. Now go light up the dark with nothing but the fire in your throat.